que ya te di las instrucciones, cuidado con el cabezazo, cuidado con el golpe abajo, obéjeme a todo tiempo y más importante, protege a todo tiempo. Every day you find instructions, watch the low blows, watch the head blows. Obey my command at all times, and most importantly, protect yourself at all times. Sound of the bell, tap gloves and sound. Let the bell.
So 18-0, Hector Tanajara Jr. at 23 years old, taking on the 31-year-old, 3-2 record, Juan Carlos Burgos. Start of round number 1. Tanajara Jr., an 8-time national amateur champion, was 125-10 as an amateur. Qualified for the 2016 U.S. Olympic trials, but opted to turn pro and sign a contract with Golden Boy Promotions instead. He's of Mexican and Japanese descent. For a while, his nickname was Samurai, but now El Finito.
El Finito is a nickname of a great undefeated Mexican champion in Ricardo Lopez, who retired at 51-0, I believe. But Mayweather's not the only one to retire undefeated. The great Ricardo Lopez, El Finito, also did.
And Tanajara grew up idolizing both Ricardo Lopez as well as Oscar De La Hoya.
Good power jab by Tanajara right there. Timing, Burgos coming in.
Tanajara in the silver trunks, Burgos in the red. Burgos has not fought in over a year. But he's excited to be fighting after the delay. Last time out was September of 2018, when he lost a 10-round decision to Devin Haney. 2 judges in that fight scored every single round for the young stud Haney.
No shame in losing that fight, and Burgos told us that there is similarities that he sees in Haney and Tanajara. They're both tall counter punchers and disciplined. They don't get out of character. They look for the right shots, and Tanajara does just that. Fights behind the jab. Discipline is the key behind Tanajara, and intelligence. Good body shot there by Burgos. We asked Burgos what the key to win this fight. He says, well, I have to stay aggressive. I have to get on him and not let him breathe. Can't let the taller Tanajara fight a tall man's fight.
Said he'll hope that Tanajara will want to come forward and look good in front of the home crowd, and that maybe that will present some opportunities for Burgos.
If Tanajara was a little bit less disciplined and less, I guess, smart, I would say, yeah, he might have that chance. But no, you're dealing with a fighter in Hector Tanajara that he is special because he's such a technician. It's technique that makes him really special to watch, his pedigree and discipline. So I don't expect him to get out of character.
Okay? Those 2 punches that we didn't like, and you heard no one, okay? Don't try anything like that. Later on, if you get a chance, maybe if you hurt him, then we'll go for it. But right now, send the jab, step back, jab again. Just enough distance to get out of his reach, but to land yours. Okay, look, he's just touching. Let him do that as many times. Just touching you, let him with a jab. So what? Just catch it right here, and then you throw yours solid in the chest, or here, or in the chin, all right? Right?
You gotta throw the overhand right. You gotta let it go. Move 1, 2, and throw your heavy right. And then hit him on the body. You gotta walk inside. Jab, jab, fast jab.
Both corners want more jabs from the fighter. Robert Garcia and Tanajara's corner wants a well-timed jab. Miguel Burgos in Juan Carlos's corner wants a well-timed jab.
Oh, nice left hand delivered there from Tanajara.
No.
And Burgos slips.
And Tanajara doing the veteran thing. As soon as someone goes down like that, you put your weight on top of their back like that to take away the legs.
To your point about how smart Tanajara is, even at this young age, we asked Juan Carlos Burgos about experience and how it would help in this fight, and he said, yeah, I obviously have more experience, but against Tanajara, I'm not taking that for granted at all, because he knows Tanajara has maturity to the way he boxes.
Absolutely. And he doesn't get out of character, like I mentioned earlier. He has great technique. And technique is above all things in boxing, over speed, over power. It's all about technique. Right now, Tanajara keeping his distance. Burgos trying to come forward and pressure Tanajara. But see, look at that. As soon as he gets near the ropes, gets back to the center of the ring, Tanajara. Keeping that distance, fighting behind the jab. Really, really patient and disciplined by Tanajara.
Tanajara was the chief sparring partner for Brandon Bam Bam Rios, leading up to his most recent fight. Two work side by side in camp. And Tanajara said that the time he spent with Rios helped him develop as an inside fighter.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he has some of the best sparring and fighters in his stable with Robert Garcia. He landed some good, he landed an overhand right and an overhand left, Tanajara did, which is unusual for him. He likes keeping the pinpoint sharpness with 1-2s and sharp combinations. Now he's winging and looping his shots a little bit more, but they're landing cleanly on Burgos.
Using that jab and then a big right hand and then a left hand to the body.
Not forgetting the body, touching them both upstairs with looping shots. Came with a left and right hook and then dug downstairs to the liver.
Counter left there from Tanajara.
Burgos landed a right hook to the body right there, but Tanajara checked him with that left hook and got off the ropes, which is the most important thing.
Tanajara dances away from Burgos. And that will end the second round.
Taco. No. Tienes que soltar más golpes, Taco,
You gotta throw more punches.
Los 3 rounds, estos iban a estar difíciles. Sí. Tienes que meterle más. Juan Carlos,
You gotta give more effort. More effort.
La derecha le dolió.
You know, when you hurt him with the right hand, keep throwing the right hand.
And here's the looping punch that I was talking about. El Finito, who's known for his crisp punches and technique, looping the overhand right, landing it cleanly on Burgos. And the reason that landed is because he's bent his knees, and he's slightly taller than Burgos, but he's bent his knees and came over the top of the gloves.
Okay? Sigue inteligente, right? Don't lose the cool, right?
Go. But.
Start of the third round between Hector Tanajara Jr. and Juan Carlos Burgos. First fight that Tanajara ever watched, De La Hoya versus Fernando Vargas. Things have certainly come full circle as Tanajara is now promoted by De La Hoya and trained by Robert Garcia, who trained Fernando Vargas.
Fernando Vargas had a lot to do with the success of my early professional career. I was one of his sparring partners when he became champion, and I got to know the Garcia camp. You know, they're a boxing family, and I mean, it doesn't get better than the Garcia corner and Fernando Vargas at that.
We just saw Joshua Franco, also part of the Garcia camp. What stands out about the way they do things?
Man, just the years of knowledge that not only from grandpa and the father, the brothers. It's boxing in their bloodline, and they're just so passionate about it. I mean, they're ferocious, and I'll take that from the nickname of Fernando Vargas. They're ferocious in the ring, but they're smart. They're intelligent. They never break from technique and discipline, but they're still aggressive, but it's smart, intelligent aggression.
just trying to work the body of Tanajara and is reminded to get those punches up a bit.
And back to touching on the training of the Garcia family. Not only is being talented enough, but they really work hard. I mean, they go up to the mountains of Big Birds, what they used to. Now they train out of Riverside and in the Robert Garcia Academy, but they work really hard. They spar really hard. And that's what ultimately does it. So they have the intellect, they have the fighting IQ, they have the ability, but then they put hard work on top of that. Beautiful combinations right there. Nothing really landed cleanly or solid or hard, but touching Burgos, because they will land later on.
Tanajara with a counter right after Burgos attacked the body.
Countering nicely, Tanajara is. Blocking the body, coming back with the same punch. Blocking with the right hand, coming with the counter with the right. Three feints, no punches, but kept Burgos at bay. Beautiful boxing right now by Tanajara.
See the way he dances in the ring.
And right there, turning Burgos. Didn't dance away there. Stayed in the inside, pivoted to the middle of the ring, and backed up Burgos with the combination.
Over his right? Sigue igual. Poco a poquito tú miras las chances que tienes para to land better punches and do it. But don't get careless, right?
1, 2, run down the pipe.
Don't get careless, right?
Bring your hands out. Over there. You got ice here. Commission. Time. Got ice there too.
Ice in the corner of the ring. That's being addressed.
Time in, box.
Wilfredo Esperon is our referee. Start of the 4th round. What do you think, Sergio, as Tanajara clearly taking the first 3 rounds?
Burgos has shown flashes of offense, but no, I just think it's all Tanajara right now. I just love his form and his fundamentals. Look at how he keeps his elbows in, always in position to punch and maintaining the distance, doesn't smother his punches. He's not the biggest puncher, but he still gets the good leverage by keeping distance. But above everything else, what I'm really impressed by Tanajara is his fundamentals. His basic fundamentals and discipline, fighting behind the jab, looking for the right shots, not wasting punches.
Tanajara has great pride in being from San Antonio. Always shouts it out and makes sure to tell you that he shouts it out, as he's reminded not to push.
That was a nice jab to the gut of Burgos, and then he tried to feint and come around with the left hook. Just barely missed on Burgos, but he should try that punch again because it will land. Tanajara missing with the right hand, getting an angle on Burgos, missing the left hook as well, but tried a good angle right there. Very smart fighter, Tanajara. Usually it's the shorter, faster fighters with faster feet that get angles like that, not the taller technicians. They rely more on the technique and beating their opponent to the punch with timing. Tanajara does it with angles and position.
Right.
Following his last win, Tanajara grabbed the mic and called out Ryan Garcia. 2 months later was rumored to be the next opponent for Devin Haney. Neither happened, obviously, but he remains on the cusp of a very big opportunity. But before that comes tonight, has to go the way Tanajara wants it to. Thus far, he's shown great technique.
What a fight that would be, Tanajara and Ryan Garcia, because you would see two undefeated, highly skilled fighters fighting behind different things. Garcia with the speed, Tanajara with the technique. And in the hierarchy of boxing, it's technique, speed, then power that wins.
Start of the 5th round. Hector Tanajara Jr., 18-0, 5 knockouts. He has been knocked down once. Juan Carlos Burgos, 33-3-2, 21 knockouts in his career. And you can see Burgos trying to pepper the body here early in the 5th round against Tanajara. And he got close to coming low there, and that's exactly what Wilfredo Esperon is telling him.
And that's what Burgos told us he was going to do. He was going to have to fight aggressive and impose his will and power by getting in the inside and not letting Tanajara fight Tanajara's fight. And that's behind the jab at distance using his length. But it's easier said than done when you're dealing with a technician like Tanajara. Look at that, dipping down just to land that body punch, but not doing it tall. Bent his knees, got small, and then landed with that body shot. Beautiful stuff by Hector Tanajara. I love seeing when tall fighters bend their knees and fight small. You know, the technique's not enough. You gotta fight, sometimes you gotta alternate between fighting tall and fighting short. You know, you can't just give the same look to your opponent. Tanajara did just that in that sequence. And right there, look at how he's bending his knees to land that body shot.
Tanajara was able to quickly get off the ropes, and then again, Sergio, bending.
See how he's hunching over like old school. Now he's not fighting tall. He's giving Burgos a different look. He fought behind the jab early in the first half of the fight, the first 4 rounds. Now he's fighting small, getting in the inside.
What does it show you when a 23-year-old's able to change his looks like that?
It shows you, one, that you have a great trainer in your corner that forces you to do that, because you're not naturally doing that. You're being instructed to do that. And it just shows you the maturity of Tanajara, because whenever you're dealing with veterans like Burgos, they're bound to catch on. So you got to give them different looks. Fight tall, fight small, fast, power, everything. Beautiful right hand right there. That was well timed by Tanajara.
Don't lace, don't lace.
Tanajara trying that right hand. Now a left hook. You can see Tanajara just calculating. Burgos looked to get at the body of Tanajara, and again. Certainly an emphasis this round from Burgos to try and hit the body of Tanajara.
That was a really, really beautiful round by Tanajara. Just boxing, executing nicely at distance.
Okay, then look, then when you got him in the ropes, when you back him up, I want to see, mira, que no entre con hielo, Hector. Okay, look. When you're in there, y que está tapándose, then I want you to go to the body, right? Okay? So he's moving fast. Okay, all right, try not to do that, all right? Ya, porque te está molestando, all right? I want to see him taken away. All right, even though fuck, we practice doing that, I don't know why he's...
Jala aire.
Breathe in, breathe in.
Sí, agárrasela arriba, güey, agárrala arriba. Agárrasela arriba, güey. Agárrasela arriba, loco.
Gotta be livelier.
A la finta más rápido, güey, a la finta.
You gotta use your speed.
Más, trabaja más tu derecha, güey.
And throw your right.
No te guardes nada.
Start of the 6th round. Hector Tanajara Jr. and Juan Carlos Burgos. According to CompuBox, Tanajara has certainly done his job of keeping Burgos away with the jab. 85% of the fight has been spent at distance.
Nice body shot right there by Tanajara. Catching the body shots of Burgos, coming to a nice counter to the body himself. They want Burgos to be livelier and use speed, get more aggressive, but that's difficult to do when you have a fighter like Tanajara whose first thing is technique and distance. Breaking that distance is the hard part, and that's why Burgos is having a hard time. body shot by Burgos right there.
Tanajara trying to get in the body as Burgos hits with the body again. Burgos hunting it as the right hand uppercut comes from Tanajara.
This is the only way I see Burgos having success. Stay on Tanajara, don't let him breathe. Smother him and just aim for the body. Because if you're aiming for the body, Tanajara he has to block, so he's keeping his elbows in and he's not going to be able to unleash the counter punches as easily as he was from the outside.
Yeah, this is the first time we've seen any kind of extended period of time with these two fighters fighting on the inside so far in this fight. Tanajara lands a couple of tough shots up high as Burgos against the ropes.
And Tanajara told us, look, Burgos is tough. He fights Mexican style, but I know how to fight Mexican style too. I fight at my advantages from the outside, but I would love to get in the inside and mix it up with the aggressive fighter as well.
Nice right hand that lands from Tanajara. And now he backs away after a long run of inside exchanges to begin this 6th round.
Tanajara told us that he needs to show different facets and styles of his game. If he needs to brawl, he will brawl. I didn't believe him, but we saw flashes of that right there. He will brawl. He almost landed a nice left hook right there. That would have changed the fight for him, but just missed.
No.
And Tanajara is going to get a scolding here
That's the 3rd time.
from Wilfredo S. Paron.
And back to what I was saying with Tanajara, it's not that he's not capable of fighting in the inside, but whenever you have the advantages that he has fighting from the outside, why fight your opponent's fight? Why be at a disadvantage if you've been so successful fighting from the outside, being disciplined? But he is a warrior, and he says if he gets a chance, he will gut it out.
Nice exchange there, and a flurry from Burgos to end the 6th round.
Look, the round's all yours. Don't get careless at the end, all right? Don't get careless. We got 4 rounds to go. Take a deep breath. ¿Cómo siente? Ella anda bien cansado, all right? He's dead tired. When you're in close, keep working the body. Just don't... Back!
The start of the 7th round between Hector Tanajara Jr. and Juan Carlos Burgos.
Robert Garcia in Tanajara's corner said that they want more body shots, that they feel that Burgos is slowing down and that he's dead tired. I don't know if he's dead tired, but right here we see Burgos coming on, getting aggressive. He is behind though.
Well, with more on what's happening in the corner, let's check in with Claudia Trejos.
Thank you, Ryan. I had a chance to speak to Miguel Burgos Sr. That's Burgos' dad, and he insists that all he has to do is throw more punches and do more feints, that the amount of punches has to increase for him to just please the judges so he can take the win. I'm not too sure that would be a good tactic at this point.
Yeah, interesting counsel there from the corner of Burgos. Thank you very much, Claudia.
I agree with Claudia. I don't think that'll be a good idea either. Burgos does have pop behind those punches, but he doesn't have the technique that Tanajara does. So both of them have equal amount of speed, but technique would beat the speed. So right now, I don't think exchanging combinations will work for Burgos.
Burgos, a 3-time challenger for a world title, twice at super featherweight, once at featherweight.
If I was Burgos, I would concentrate more on the body. He's had success going to the body of the taller Tanajara, so that's where I think he can get the points and win rounds by going to the body of the taller fighter. Even if they appear to be blocked, they're still being effective. You're still landing. You're still keeping Tanajara's elbows in and away from throwing punches.
Watch out.
Tanajara.
He's body shot by Burgos right there. I think that caught the attention of Tanajara.
Yeah, it did, and another body shot right back to the same spot from Burgos.
Oh, yeah. Tanajara keeping that right elbow in. Those two body shots caught the attention of Tanajara. And that's what I mentioned earlier, Ryan. It's the body that I think is going to be the difference for Burgos. The technique is too good on Tanajara's part, so go downstairs. Keep those elbows tucked in. That way he won't be able to unleash the distance and the length that Tanajara is so accustomed to. Right. Yep.
Start of the 8th round of a scheduled 10 at lightweight. Sergio, what do you think about the way both corners have been handling their fighters throughout this bout thus far?
Well, needless to say, I love what they're saying in Tanajara's corner. They want him to fight on the inside, fight small with the elbows in and throw uppercuts because they see Burgos is getting aggressive, trying to close the distance. And in Burgos' corner, they want something that they haven't seen from their man yet. They want speed, they want power, they want him to back up Tanajara. That's easier said than done. Right now, they should just focus on the body because he did have success in that last round Burgos did to the body. Just like that. Even if he's punching the elbows like that, keep punching at those forearms. Backstage, Ryan, I gave you a glimpse of what a body shot was to the forearm, and telling you that sometimes even if it doesn't look like it lands, your own elbow digs into your rib.
And all I wanted was a glimpse, and I don't want any more from you. But right, you made the point that, okay, even if it's not looking like it lands, when you keep hitting there, your own arm digs into you, and you feel that.
Right there, Tanajara getting aggressive, fighting the inside. This is what he said he can do. He can make the fight, he can close the distance, make the fight into a war, but on his terms. And he's doing that just now.
And you can see him already throw one of those uppercuts you talked about his corner wanting. See if there's opportunities for more from Tanajara as he fights in close. Nice counter there.
Burgos almost landed a big right uppercut. He rolled with it slightly to come back with that right uppercut. But see, that's what happens when you start fighting the inside. He's doing exactly what his corner, Robert Garcia, wanted him to do. Close those elbows, get inside, get small, and come up with uppercuts. Left and right uppercuts.
Right hand to the body from Burgos.
Burgos having a good round here. He landed a good right hand. I think he caught the attention of Tanajara there upstairs and to the body.
Tanajara, a lot of respect for Burgos, too. This is going to be a very tough fight when you see the kind of fighters that Burgos has gone up against and gone the distance against.
Yeah, we asked Burgos, who's been your toughest opponent? I mean, you faced champions like Mikey Garcia and Devin Haney, Rocky Roman, and it was a toss-up. He actually had to think about it. He said, well, it's a mix between Martinez and Mikey Garcia.
Eight rounds here in San Antonio in the books.
You got it? Two more like that. Two more like that. Yeah? Okay, pues back him up. Pero también, I want you to get careless, all right? Not just because you feel a little bit better, don't get careless, all right? I want you to keep tight, but keep your punches going. Don't look for just one hard punch. Yeah, you know. Yeah, don't look for just one punch. Look for combinations. Boom, boom, boom. Mira, 1, 2, 1, and boom, 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 y un uppercut. Okay?
Here we see Tanajara following the instructions of Robert Garcia, keeping the elbows in with the left uppercut, stalking his opponent, not letting him breathe, but doing it without getting careless. That's the main thing.
Right. Throw your right. And then the left hook. Down low. An uppercut. Throw it.
Start of the 9th round between Hector Tanajara Jr. and Juan Carlos Burgos.
Both corners want more uppercuts from their men.
See if they deliver in this 9th round.
Nice body shot.
Yeah.
Like Burgos right there.
And an uppercut from Tanajara.
If I was Burgos, I would just concentrate these next 2 rounds solely on the body. Right and left to the body, and then get a little angle and go right back downstairs.
Overhand right from Tanajara. See the CompuBox numbers with Tanajara landing 44% of his thrown power punches and Burgos just 25%. Sergio, that seemed like an accurate representation of what you've seen thus far in this fight.
Tanajara has been active and he's been precise. At 44%, I mean, it's pretty accurate. Anytime you're at 50%, you know you're landing the majority of your punches, and Tanajara has been very effective. Good body shot. See, that's what you need from Burgos.
You want to see him double up on it?
Double up or go from left to right on both sides of the body. And if you can, if you've done it before, get an angle and go right back downstairs. Ignore the head right now. Just go straight to the body if you're Burgos. Just like that.
Yeah, there it was.
And there's the angle.
Trying to get that uppercut.
And there's the angle. I don't think Burgos have that in them. Get the body shot, get an angle, and go right back downstairs.
You can hear the hum in the crowd. They are very engaged with this fight between Tanajara and Burgos. Tanajara from San Antonio fighting here for the first time. The fight started on the outside through the first few rounds, and it has moved much closer in the second half of this bout.
Tanajara is really covering, Burgos is really covering the right side of his body. I don't know if Tanajara landed a nice body shot downstairs, but it seems like he's more focused. Burgos is more focused on covering the body than the headshots right now. Good counter right there by Burgos. Look at how Burgos is keeping that right elbow really tucked to the right side of his body instead of covering his cheek, the right side of his face.
Something Tanajara could try and take advantage of.
See that look? He goes straight to wanting to block the right side of his body, but he's still coming forward, Burgos.
Come on.
10th and final round between Hector Tanajara Jr. and Juan Carlos Burgos. That is not a knockdown, just a slip.
Kind of tripped on Burgos' feet and they got crossed up right there.
Oh, hard body shot. And there he went left, right, like you had suggested, Sergio.
And he should have done that earlier, but I mean, it's never too late. Just keep digging downstairs. I mean, it's the last round. You're behind on points, but that's how you're gonna have success. And he's finally doing it. And that's what's gonna open up the upstairs shots, just like that.
An aggressive combination from Burgos as Tanajara backed away. And again, you can see Burgos just trying to dig at the body of Tanajara.
And that's what he needed to do earlier in the fight. Just concentrate on the body because that keeps the elbows of Tanajara in. It keeps the arms inside.
Big right hand there from Tanajara. I mean, the first 5 rounds were fought almost exclusively on the outside. But the last 5 have been fought on the inside.
And that's what Tanajara told us. He says, I'll brawl if it comes down to it. I can make it a dirty fight. I can fight Mexican style as well. And he's showing just that in the last round of this fight. He's pretty to watch on the outside, but he can be a dog in the inside as well.
Tanajara doubling up with that left hook, and now a combination up top with the left-right. Tanajara trying to tee off on Burgos against the ropes. Burgos nuzzling in. saw Burgos start the round with a flurry, pedaling the body of Tanajara. And you would think that Burgos' only shot would be a knockout, although there have been some tighter rounds in the second half of this fight. You think that's an accurate description?
I think it's accurate, but Burgos is a tough guy. He's never been knocked out. He wasn't knocked out by a champion like Devin Haney, a multi-champion like Mikey Garcia or Roman Martinez. So this was a big step for Tanajara. To me, he passed it impressively because he's fighting on the outside, inside, dominated the fight. Another excellent performance by Hector Tanajara.
Crowd rising to its feet, and that will do it. Great respect immediately shown from Tanajara and Burgos as they both go to each other's respective corners to congratulate each other on a fight well fought.
Well fought. That was power chess in the way I look at it. That's an example of a power chess match.
So Hector Tanajara Jr. hoping to improve to 19-0, certainly feeling like he will. And Juan Carlos Burgos once again goes the distance against one of the bright young stars in boxing. Last time out for Juan Carlos Burgos, it was Devin Haney in what was a 10-round decision loss for Burgos. And tonight, it's 10 rounds against Hector Tanajara Jr.
Yeah, it's a classic matchup in boxing. The young up-and-comer against the grizzled veteran. And in my opinion, Tanajara, passing the test once again. He fought brilliantly on the outside like he always does, but he showed a little bit of inside fighting as well. Burgos showed grit, showed an amazing chin. The body shots later in the fight, but all in all, Tanajara just, a little bit of everything we've seen in there, inside and outside. And he follows instructions. That's what I really like about him. Not only his discipline and his skill and IQ, but the way he listens to his corner and does exactly what they tell him.
Called fighting in front of his friends and family here in San Antonio for the first time. A very big deal. Has great pride being from here. And awaits official word on the decision after going the full 10 rounds with Juan Carlos Burgos. Let's find out from Joe Martinez.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, after 10 exciting rounds of boxing, we go to the judges' scorecards. And here are the totals. Ruben Carrion scores at 99-91. Joel Elizondo and Ellis Johnson both have it 97-92. All for your winner by unanimous decision. And still the undefeated USNBC lightweight champion from San Antonio, Texas, El Finito, Hector Tanajara Jr.
So Hector Tanajara Jr., winner by unanimous decision, improves to 19-0. And this was certainly a step up, an opponent for him, an experienced fighter. And Hector Tanajara Jr. showed his maturity, his intelligence, and his versatility in the ring.